Chugga, 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 chugga. Do you guys get it? It's a train.
Yeah,
it's a
thanks.
train.
Thanks, Justin.
All aboard the Essex County Express. Nothing bad can happen on this train, right?
Ever.
So in this one, this is the one where you're on the train. I don't think we need to say much more because this is the one that everyone was really hyped for when they announced it, and I think it holds itself up pretty well.
Yeah, it lives up to that for sure.
So in this one, the gist of it is, as I said, you're on a train, and then there's
But you
going
don't
to
start
be,
from that end.
you start at the back of the train, and you must make your way from here to there, and stop the train while monsters are attacking the train, and a portal is sucking the train into it.
You don't know that from the start. This one's just a race against time.
Yeah.
And the Mythos text reflects that.
Yeah.
It's full of like the melee cards, which that were introduced in the last expansion, the Miskatonic Museum. They're not too relevant though. Like you're realistically not milling out playing this one. But there's also like the Frozen Fear set,
Which is actually, it can really
that
kill
one
you.
can screw you. Like there's the generic Compass, which adding Doom can. They're actually not too bad usually because they spawn like an empty card.
Yeah.
So you just put them like in the one that's going to
Furthest back, yeah.
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 Your stop on for, oh shit!
And then there's the Ancient Evils one, always fun. It's just like lose a turn. Man, I want to talk about that one for a second. That is, in my opinion, out of all the cards, the single most brutal like Mythos card.
Yeah.
Because it just costs you so many actions. Like you flip that in a 3-player game, you just lost 9 actions to win the game with.
10 if Leo DeLuca
Sometimes
is there.
10.
Yeah. Like
Or more,
That's
if
such a
you've got
massive
skids.
swing in the game's favor.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the train-specific ones, which are just like cards that slow you down, like these broken rails. You gotta
You got this guy who hugs you to
lose
death.
an action, and like you each investigate your location for more damage. Also discard an asset. Grappling horror. You can't move while you're engaged with him.
And he also has the, as I said, the Asphalov number of 3, so...
There's these
2
emergent
attacks.
monstrosities, which are just big and they hit really hard.
Yeah.
But they're not too hard.
And they
to kill.
also spawn to the right of you, so it's like, oh, I have to deal with this the next time I move in there.
Yeah.
And more often than not, it's your yellow character who's investigating that empties the train and then is like, okay, I'm going to move ahead to start getting ready on the next one.
Yeah.
Because you can't move forward unless you investigate all the clues on a location.
The game does a good job of pushing you forward while also like introducing mechanics to slow you down.
Yeah.
This one was amazing. Oh yeah, there's also like the helpless passengers who like you don't have to help. I don't think there's no
No,
bonus
just
for it.
like
They just don't hurt you.
when they die, they hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which usually isn't too bad, but this one was really fun to play for the first time,
Oh, yeah.
especially when the train started getting sucked up and we were like, oh shit,
Yeah, because you have no idea that's going to happen. Then all of a sudden you're just like, oh.
oh we gotta go.
Yeah. Like, I mean, they do a very good job of not surprising you with that in a way that can kill somebody because they just stress you have to go forward, keep going
Like you gotta
forward.
get going, and then like it eats one, and then later it starts eating 2 to surprise you.
Yeah, we've never been in a point where someone was at risk. We always were staying ahead. So it's pretty easy to stay ahead. I feel like it's more there just to really add the stress and add on a timer.
Yeah. And in the same vein, they're like, they don't punish you too hard for it. Basically, if you get sucked up, you just get like one of these at the end of the scenario, a weakness that mills you for 3.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but like if this was like one of the later scenarios, they'd probably just kill you.
Yeah.
So.
Or in like the Path to Carcosa where your character is locked in
Yeah.
the insane
Like
asylum and you have to do a
you're
new
done.
one. Yeah, yeah.
One other thing that this one introduced is, again, this is them starting to experiment with game mechanics. This is the first one that had like I think it's the first one anyway, that had a disparate number of acts and agendas. Like there's only 2 acts, which is like get to the front of the train and then like leave or whatever. But there's like 5 agendas.
Yeah.
Which is quite
'cause-
intimidating the first time you play, having seen that every other encounter is like 2 or 3.
Yeah, because the Midnight Masks one only has 1 act, but like this one has a alarming difference between them. Yeah.
And it's just something that hasn't come up, and they do. I'm really impressed with their willingness to just break normal game rules and kind of do things that fits each scenario.
Yes. Yeah. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but what I remember is that the end of the scenario, wasn't it all in our heads or something like that, or like was there actually like because like what was the resolution for this one? Was the actual train actually sucked up?
So there's like a creature at the end. Ow, what's going on with this creature? Man, it's been a while since you played this one.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah, there's the gate there, and then like you can either fail to dodge a creature or fail to endure the creature's extreme heat.
the steam monster, right? He's made of steam. I
Yeah.
remember that.
And then you have to add an across space and time to your deck. Then there's like one resolution, which is like you get out. And then there's another resolution where like some people get out.
Yeah, because I could be, just putting the Path of Carcosa mythos thing, but one thing I really like is that they do it in this one, and for some reason my mind thought they did it in this one, where it's like, no, you're actually crazy, nothing bad happened.
No, I think that's
right?
the Carcosa one.
Yeah.
That does that.
Yeah.
This one, like, because they're talking about like, oh, yeah, you have to walk the rest of the way down because the train's fucked.
Yeah, because they just say, but like, yeah, the train's fucked, but they say, oh, it was just some sort of weird accident, right? Like,
Well, that's like
yeah.
how they explained it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that they're also doing that they're, not everyone knows the mythos exists, and,
The normal people are just like, yeah, the engine exploded.
and some people just got sucked out the window, and then the back,
Yeah.
we don't know where the back of the train is, but it's gone. Yeah.
So yeah, that's our best guess.
Yeah.
Got
Steam.
disintegrated.
Steam. But otherwise, I don't think there's too much really to say about this one.
There is one other mechanic they introduced, is in that because they're preparing for the ritual to open the gate for the Dunwich Legacy, you can have the Necronomicon stolen
Okay.
or
Yeah.
your allies kidnapped.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember you saying that,
If
yeah.
an investigator controlling them gets sucked through the rift, then you lose them.
Another thing, too, is
And
also...
bad things happen later if that happens.
We did the... at this time, we've already played the Carnivale one where you have to go clockwise, but this one really pays also to the fixed locations with a very fixed order for how you go through
Yeah.
them. Yeah. Which is also something that makes it unique, right? It feels more like, oh, I'm on a train, as opposed to, I'm walking around the museum. Here's the bear. Oh!
Yeah.
So, what do you think of theme for this one?
Oh man, this one's like a 4 or a 5. This one's great.
Yeah.
I think this one is a 5 for theme.
Okay.
I don't see, like, apart from the steam monster, I think everything's a hit. Are we cool with that? Do we give our first?
I
mean,
think we shoot 4.5.
Cool.
I think this one loses a lot of it, or well, I mean not a lot, but like some of its interest in subsequent playthroughs. Like the first time it's amazing, but the second time you're just like, hey, we gotta like not be in the last train or the last 2 cars, right? And like you said, the steam monster is a little bit.
I mean, it makes sense. It's a steam engine.
My point is, we can find flaws with it, so we can't give it a 5 yet.
Well, and then there's a question of what is our 5? What will be the one that gets a 5?
Oh, I don't know.
What is our fun for this one?
This one's pretty good.
I
This
think
one's this one's a 4.
I think it's very fun, but at the same time, it's a bit disappointing because you just got all these new cards in your deck, but you don't have time to do
Yeah,
the
you don't
things
get
with them.
you don't really get to play too much.
But I don't think that should be against the scenario because
I mean, you have other options.
it's not supposed to give you time to do fun stuff.
Yeah, this one is very much not. You're not playing the Arkham Horror LCG. You're playing running on a train card game.
Yes. Yeah. It's a hard game.
It's a different game.
Yeah, you're not exploring. You're just going through it.
Yeah.
I think this one's a 4 though. Like,
I can agree with the 4.
there's enough pressure for it to like feel like you have to do things, but also at the same time not feeling too stifling.
Yeah, and you also get to experience while playing the game, having the stress. You get to feel the theme as you play, which I think makes it very
There
fun.
shouldn't be any players who are bored. There's monsters to kill for your goons and run away. There's like clues to pick up for other people.
Yeah.
If you have extra actions, there's other things to do.
And what about difficulty?
This one's actually not that hard.
No, I agree.
I think it's like a 2.5, 3.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go 2.5 because I feel like it's an average difficulty.
Yeah.
Overall, what do we think about the Essex?
Just a small note on the difficulty again is that like the ending could be much more punishing.
Yeah. And also, yeah, because there's Ancient Evils. Those are kind of just like randomly can make the difficulty much harder.
Yeah, like if you flip 2 of those in a turn, you're just like, guess we're out 2 turns.
Yeah.
Overall, what do we think of this guy?
I give this one a 4.
I think a 4 is rock solid.
It's not perfect, but it is very good.
Bryn, what do you think?
I mean, like as Arkham Horror, the living card game, I'd probably give it like a 2.
Yeah.
As running on a train, the card game, I'd probably give it like a 3 or a 3.5 or a 4.
Cool. Let's go 3.5 because I feel like
It does feel like it's a different game, but that's also not a bad thing.
overall, I mean, it's a very good one.
Yeah. Yep, you don't have the time to explore and stuff, but it's fun to run on the train. It's a good time. Kind of lets you lose.
And this one also to me is like it's very surprising because it's very different than any other scenario that's come before.
One thing I really, really like about this one, actually, is it could have been very easy for them to just say, you took a train to Dunwich, now start doing things in Dunwich. But no, they actually came up with a scenario, which might be why this is a little bit, it's a short scenario. It feels, I mean, like, not rushed, but like Bryn said, it doesn't really feel like the Arkham Horror card game.
No.
It's like, they could have just said, you're taking the train to Dunwich, good, you're done. But they instead gave us a scenario for it.
I would love to just be a part of the design team for this game when they look at a new deluxe expansion and they think, okay, what story notes do we want to hit on, right? Because they're like, especially like for the Path of Carcosa, they're like, we should do an insane asylum. They got to go to the catacombs, right? I think it'd be really cool to see.
Be some interesting meetings there.
So I think the next one is Blood on the Altar.
Yeah, something like that. That one's really, really good.
Yeah, that's the one where you have to go around the town and find people.
Oh, we'll talk about it.
We're going to do that one next. So yeah, it'll be out on YouTube soon. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, blah, blah, trade, and go.
Watching.